So it's from the health crisis to another unfolding disaster in the country, drought. It's a precious commodity, come rain or shine, and yet in some parts of Kenya, it's a matter of life and death. And as our reporter Sharon Momanyi found out, it takes hours and even days for some families in Marsabit to get even a drop of water, whether to quench one's thirst or for any of the other critical human needs.
The sun rises on the horizons of Marsabit County, its rays harshly hitting the already too thirsty earth. Our drive across the vast arid county gives face to the disaster that has hit this region hard. In the heart of Laisamis, close to 200 kilometers from Isiolo town, we find this village with only women in sight.
In this village in Tupcha, in Bala location, only women have been left behind to fend for the children as their husbands have walked all the way to Isiolo from Laisamis in search of pasture for their livestock. However, the women too are finding it hard to feed the children as there is an acute shortage of food and water in this area.
The first thing we do in the morning is to go look for water far away from here. By the time we come back, maybe we just take strong tea.
At dawn, we follow the trails leading to the few remaining water pans and shallow wells. Most of them have dried up. The daunting search for water means long walks under the scorching sun. Here we find the women from Tupcha village and others coming from even farther. But the water levels are too low. The women must work together. They pour some water into a trough where their goats will drink from. Their livestock are the mainstay of their livelihoods and their priority. Then they carry the water back home. Few are lucky to have the help of donkeys. Adikentu is not one of them. It takes close to an hour to fill up all her containers. She must endure. This water is a vital part of the only meal her 5 young children will have today. Now we'll walk 7 kilometers back home. 1 hour later, we're still on the road, the unforgiving heat with no water to drink, making it a daunting task. We meet a group of women also out to find water. One of them is pregnant. Doesn't she get to stay behind at this time? We ask. All hands are needed on deck, they say. Finally, we arrive at Adikentu's village.
Water is scarce. We hardly ever bathe the children. Sometimes there's even no water to cook.
Food is extremely scarce at this time, but water is even harder to find. This child drinks what you'd mistake for black tea, only it's dirty water, as it's sometimes all that can be found, children bearing the biggest brunt of the drought and famine.
I have 5 children. They don't get to eat 3 meals. We hardly ever have lunch. I try to get them dinner. Breakfast is not guaranteed.
The situation is expected to worsen between now and April, depending on the performance of long rains, as Adi, Ntanyua, and many others continue to scribble anguish in their drought diaries. Sharon Momanyi, KTN News, Marsabit County.